Welcome to Love is Crafting.
Love is crafting.
I'm Stanton.
And I'm Tila.
And if you're new to our channel, thanks for checking us out. Are you returning subscribers? Thank you for the support.
Here on this channel, what we like to do is take you through crafts and other DIY projects that are real, but not necessarily perfect because
Love isn't perfect. We have a goal to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but we need your help.
Yes, will you please consider hitting the subscribe button? We post new videos every Saturday.
And in this video, we are showing you how we added sprinkles to this cup.
Yes, and if you missed the tutorial on how to make this cup, it's linked right above.
So the sprinkles we're talking about is this ice topper. Not only is this ice topper removable, but the sports lid is still functional.
Now, the goal was to make this cup look like a margarita. Did we nail it? Let us know below.
And while you're there, make sure you like,
comment,
and subscribe.
Love is crafting.
Love is crafting.
What I have here is I have some Vaseline, our magnets, our lid, and some E600. 6,000, haha, 6,000, 3 zeros. So what I'm first going to do, is make a mess. And that's not what I meant to do. So I need a paper towel. I didn't realize that I was gonna make a mess. No, it's fine, it's fine.
I was just gonna say, just use it.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do.
I will put it on the magnets and not
yeah. I'm gonna put this on the magnet because I made a mess. Don't do that. And then I'm gonna glue down this magnet here. Okay. Glued that down there. So right now I have 2 magnets, right? I have 2 magnets. One's going to go, I just have 2 magnets right now for the height. And then when we actually make the lid from the mold, we'll have one on the lid and then we'll have one on the actual cap. And so we're gonna put in another small dot of glue. Anyway, so we're going to leave this here and let it dry for a little bit. And then when we come back, I'm going to put some Vaseline on it. And then we're going to use the hot glue to make the mold, or at least attempt to. Okay, so our magnets are in place and have dried to a certain extent. What we're gonna do right now is I'm going to put Vaseline all over this lid. And the thought process is to allow it to, when we have the hot glue on there, that it'll release easier. And we're just gonna see if this works. Okay, so I feel like I greased that up pretty good. It was kind of like, greasing up a pan for baking. So now what we're going to do is we are going to use our hot glue gun and fill this up and attempt to see if we can make a mold. You want to try squeezing for a little bit? Okay, so our glue looks like it's dry, and what we're gonna do is try to pry it out. I got some weeding tools that I'm gonna try to use, but I have no idea if this is even gonna work.
I can see how that one will work better.
Shut up. All right, you can go now. All right, so this is how our hot glue mold came out. Not very well.
Rough.
Looks real rough. But after we took it out, we realized that we casted the mold incorrectly anyways, because we actually need the mold with the spout up. So there's like a hole. So I think what we need to do is we need to just mold this outer portion right here. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is we are going to take a small amount of hot glue.
And we're doing hot glue this time?
Yeah, we're gonna do hot glue this time because I don't know if this is gonna work. So with hot glue, I feel like we can undo it a little bit easier. So we're gonna go for there, and we're going to glue it into place.
And it doesn't take as long to set.
Yes, definitely. So we're gonna put another tiny drop of glue on this, hot glue, and then we are going to, it's fine guys, it's just a hot glue gun. All right, so now while that is drying, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move over here and we are going to open up our silicone mold set. And this is by Starso. So we will see if it's any good. All right, so we open up the box and we have, I guess this is instructions. This is the container, part A, part B, and we have some measuring cups, and we have some spouts.
I wonder if those spouts will fit the resin UV.
We can try it. We can definitely try it. And we have our handy dandy instructions. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it.
Swinging is always the best option.
Yep. But I did read that you just mix equal parts and then you pour it into the mold and let it set. But I guess I could read some of the instructions. You want to read the instructions while I'm getting everything set up? No? Okay. Well, I mean, you sounded like you were upset that I wasn't going to read the instructions. So, it is what it is. Okay, so now I feel like maybe I should maybe second guess myself.
Maybe you should fill it with water to see how much you'll need to, never mind, that's not. Yeah, fill it with water to see how much of the stuff you'll need. Or just guess and overdo it.
All right, well, I will go and get some water. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use one of our other lids and we're just gonna see how much liquid can fit in here.
How much liquid is that?
I was gonna do a whole cup. So I did it to the very top line. Is that better?
Yes.
Which is 27.5 mLs.
It's gonna be hard to do half and half of.
I think this will work. Hold on, let's see. All right, I think that's pretty perfect. And there is 5 mLs. So it looks like it'll take 25 mLs. So I will mix up 30 because
30 mLs won't fit in that.
it is a total of 30 mLs. That's that top line. This one was 27.5 mLs. I don't know what the difference is. Milliliters? I don't know. No, one's 27 and one's 30. They're just different. Anyways. Oh, I get what you're saying. I filled it up to 27.5. Oh. I didn't like that.
I'm so lost, I'm just waiting for you to figure it out.
So I filled it up to this line and not the very top line. So this line is 27.5 and this line is 30.
Yeah, so just do 30. Do 15 and 15 and let's get this rocking.
All right, we're gonna do 15 and 15. We are going to start with part A. Okay, that was pretty spot on. And then we are going to do 15 mLs of the other one. And we're going to mix. It's not gonna leave me much mixing room, but it's fine. Okay, so we got that all measured out. And now let's try to stir it. Because this isn't going to be difficult at all whatsoever. Handy dandy popsicle stick. And we are going to stir. And I'm probably going to stir this for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get this poured, and I am uber nervous about this, guys. Very, very nervous. So here goes nothing.
Wait. Make sure you put the second magnet on there.
Oh yeah, we got to put the second magnet up there so it has the hole that's big enough. All right. All right, so this needs to cure for, I believe, at least 24 hours. So we will let it sit and see how it comes out. Okay, so we're back and it has been about 12 hours. And after reading all the full directions, it actually cures in 6. So we're ready to go. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this out and see how it looks. I don't think that this is going to work because I don't feel like it has allowed, we didn't have anything to, it's not gonna have a space to pour into. That's what I think. What do you think?
I think as long as the bottom has a mold, then that's all we need.
Well, let's see what's gonna happen. All right. So yeah, this is what I think the problem is. We didn't allow it to have anything to pour into except for these 2 little holes. So this isn't gonna work. So this is a fail as well. What do you think?
I think that we could just pour on top of that and that'll...
What's gonna keep it from going over?
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to put something around the mold, but I think the mold still works.
So, okay, so you want to try to, I mean, that is an option, but this isn't a mold. Like that's not gonna work. Like this isn't a mold because there's nothing to pour into except for, like we made a mold of these 2 holes.
Okay.
Okay, so here on this channel, we are all about not being perfect. And in an attempt to make this lid, we went through quite a few fails. So you guys remember our silicone fail where it just gave us the outline, but it wasn't exactly a mold that we could use. So we did that one. And then we also had our hot glue fail. This one had potential Well, not really. It had the same problem as this one. So the next thing that we tried is we tried creating another mold, but kind of using Play-Doh as clay. And as you can see, this one didn't really turn out well. The concept, I think, is there. I just think we need a little maybe better clay or something instead of Play-Doh. I think if we retried this one, we might be able to get it to work, but it was a lot of work. And then we also decided to use the silicone and then try to use Play-Doh to create the shapes that we wanted to and put it on here and then create the holes and then pour it that way.
It's actually not Play-Doh.
This is the silicone mold, but we use Play-Doh as well. So that's what is on the sides of here, Play-Doh. But that didn't really work. And when we created this mold, we didn't mix it completely. And so it's sticky. So that mold didn't work. It was just a lot and a lot of trial and error. This one is just if we pour the silicone or if we pour the epoxy in this mold straight, what happens is it comes out and it is thick. It's really thick. So tried pouring it, like we tried tons of different things. Ultimately, what we
don't forget the
I'm sorry, there's one more we tried.
Electric tape.
So we tried using electric tape and pouring the epoxy and then trying to pull it off, but the electric tape doesn't come off, so that didn't work. Okay, and lastly, we even tried putting saran wrap on the lid and then just pouring it. And then eventually we could like cut this out and it doesn't look bad. We just weren't able to get it not to crinkle. And the weight wasn't holding it down enough. Now we did see a TikTok where if you put your saran wrap in the freezer, it won't crinkle. So we may attempt this one again and let you guys know how that one goes as well. But overall, I did find something that could work for it. It is not the most elegant process, but it works. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna start by mixing some epoxy. We are using KS Resin's Liquidy Split Ultra UV epoxy. We will eventually do a review on this epoxy and let you know our thoughts. That will come in the weeks to come. So I am going to mix up, I'm gonna go with like 15. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're gonna mix up this epoxy and then we are gonna pour it into our mold. But what we wanna accomplish is we don't wanna pour it all the way to the top because we want this to be a thin layer of epoxy. What I will do is I will add in a little bit of glitter just to give it some color, but I still want it to be transparent. So I'm going to just pour in a little bit of glitter so it just gives it a hint of color. If you pour in too much glitter, it'll be completely the color. But you want it to be something like this where it just has a little hint of color. Okay, so once you have your epoxy mixed up, you are going to pour it into your mold. And again, you don't want to put too much because we don't want to fill this up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pour, but I'm gonna stop pouring once it gets closer to the edges and wait for it to kind of thin out on its own. And I can help speed up the process by moving the epoxy. And then you're gonna let it dry. So this needs to dry for about 4 hours, but we have this one over here that we've already done. So this is what I mean when I say a thin layer. You wanna still be able to bend it, but it still has some shape to it. From there, what we're gonna do is we are going to take our lid and our handy dandy Sharpie. I use handy dandy a lot, right?
I was thinking that when you said that. I was thinking.
It's the Blues Clues in me, you know. You can tell when I grew up. Old school Blues Clues. So what you want to do is you want to trace the outline of the sports top onto.
Why don't you just put the molding clay on top of that? Wouldn't that give you a more accurate outline of that?
It would. That's probably a really good idea. However, this are you talking about this mold that we made?
Yeah.
It's just super sticky, and when it's sticky, it makes a mess, and I'm not a fan of messes, but we can try it. So my drawing wasn't too far off.
I was gonna say, that was pretty on point.
Yeah, because that's why you want it transparent so you can see through. Or you can make a mold and then trace it. But either way, it looks like it's pretty spot on, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut. So this is what you wanna do. You wanna get some scissors, and you wanna get some good scissors.
Oh, I'm so glad that you called it scissors.
Oh, a scissor.
Nope, too late. Too
A
late.
scissor. Oh no, good scissors. We'll go ahead and use the Cricut ones. Well, this is what we have, so this is what we're gonna use. So you just wanna go ahead and you wanna cut along your lines, okay? So it's going to be a little tough, but it's okay. Just cut, and again, I'm not worried about cutting off the, what do you call it? The Sharpie, because it's gonna be underneath ice, so you're not gonna see it anyways. So I'm not too terribly worried about it.
Looks like it's gonna break.
I don't think it will, but I do feel the tension. That's why you wanna, it's probably best to do this portion right at about 4 hours so that it's still bendable and it's not fully cured. Obviously when it's fully cured, it's a little harder, so it's okay though, it'll work. And if it breaks, you just know that you have to do it again. And then you want to size test this. So this one needs to be cut a little bit more. And I messed up and I ordered the wrong size silicone mold for this particular lid. And so it's a little off, so we'll have to trim some of the edge too. So I can see like right here, I have to trim some of the edge.
But you think if you cut through the middle, you won't need to trim off the edge?
Yes, I'm sure that I will, because what happens is this won't go all the way in here. Like this will fit here, like that'll, here, I'll show you. Okay, so now that you got your piece to fit the way that you want it to, what you're gonna do is you need to get your magnets in place. Now, I'll link the description, I'll have the link in the description below for where we got these magnets. They're really strong magnets, but you want to make it so that your topper base is going to be level with the edge of the lid. So when I did it, I chose to use 3, so I have the height that I want. So I used 3 magnets.
Mix between use and chose, right?
Yeah. So from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our glue gun and we're going to stick glue on the bottom of one of these. And then you're going to put it in place. Now, I'm choosing to use hot glue, a hot glue gun, but you can use any type of adhesive that you want. You just want it to be a strong adhesive so that it doesn't come off easily. E6000 could be something that you use, but I don't have the patience for it. It takes too long to dry. So.
Didn't you say that those that UV epoxy is like what a lot of people use it as glue?
They do, and we do have some extra right on here, and it hasn't set, so why don't I try that? If this doesn't work, because I already put it on there. Okay, so let's see if I can take off one of these magnets and it holds. So it looks like the hot glue is holding pretty well on that one. I'm gonna let that one do its thing for a little bit. But yeah, you can use UV resin as glue. All right, so from there you want to go ahead and stick on your base of your removable topper. And I don't like gluing this down until I have all of my pieces in place. So here are the ice cubes that we're gonna be using. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. And then here are the little ones that we're gonna be using. And again, all this will be linked below. One thing I did forget is our lime, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab that really quickly. Okay, so I got my fruit. This is really important because you want to put this on your lid somewhere closer to the beginning of when you're building your lid. So I am going to start by just putting that block there. Oh, I'm making the biggest mess out of this glue. So you can put it on the ice cube or you can put it on the lid. It's really your preference. But you want to make sure that you are getting it on the actual lid topper and not the actual lid, because you want this to be removable. So you want to make sure that you aren't letting glue seep over to the edges while it's still hot. Otherwise it's going to glue to something that you don't want it to glue to. Now when you put your fruit, you have to be careful here because you don't want to put it here and block the spout. So you want to make sure that it's over to the side enough so that your spout still comes up and down. So it can't be in the flow path of it. So, and you have to play with it and see which side makes more sense to do that on. And I think I like it over here. And for me on this spot, I'm going to just be putting the glue directly onto the lid. And this is what I'm talking about. You got to be careful that the glue doesn't, I guess, seep over. Otherwise, it's gonna be stuck to the lid and we don't want that. So you see where my lime is actually in the way of my spout? That's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to get this to move somehow, which means I might have to just detach it and then put it back, or let's see if that worked. All right, I was able to move it over a little bit because the actual lime isn't completely dry, but I'm not liking that because now it's not sitting up straight. So I think I got it the way that I want it. We'll see. We're just gonna play with it. Okay, so this is what it looks like from that angle. And I think I want some more dimension over here in front of the lime, so I'm going to place one of these smaller ones there. Tons of these little strings from the hot glue. Driving me crazy.
Well, you know, it's just like spider webs, like the Drinks in the Caribbean, you know. Drinks in the Caribbean attract fruit flies, and fruit flies attract spiders.
Really? I don't think I knew that.
I'm not saying that as a fact. It just makes sense in my head.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, that makes sense in his head. Okay. Is that what, I'm assuming that's what spiders eat, fruit flies?
I know they eat flies.
Okay. All right, that's fair. And to be honest, I think I'm just gonna cut off this little piece because it's really just getting in my way, and I don't think that I'm gonna be able to put a small piece of ice there. And I honestly don't think I want to. Do I? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's see. Is this a good idea? Why not? What the heck? Why not? Okay, now once you get it the way that you want to, make sure that you can open and close the spout the way that you want to be able to. It opens, it closes, so this will work. It's very functional. Now we need to finish making it removable. Okay, so we have our lid. It's pretty stable. It's gluing, or it's drying. From here, what you want to do is you want to put on glue onto your dots, and then you want to put it on there exactly the way you want to and let it dry. You have to move fast because this glue will dry pretty fast. And I was thinking I could do one at a time, but I don't know. Let's see. We can squeeze that down there. I don't think that's gonna work because I think the other one's gonna end up coming up, but we'll try it. The good thing about hot glue, it doesn't have to be permanent. You can really, if you work and get some muscle in there, you can take it apart. So while that's drying, I'm just gonna make sure my spout still works. So if this is successful and this is fully dry, you'll be able to remove the lid. All right, just like I thought, this one stayed, but this one came off because I moved it before it was fully dried. So that was my fault. I should have just waited and did it like this. But y'all all know by now, hopefully if you don't know, I'm not that patient. Working on it, but I'm not that patient. I'm actually planning on making this really cool shirt that I want to make, and I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to say thick thighs and thin patience, because I feel like that is all me. Thick thighs and thin patience. If you can try to get the glue that failed off the bottom, it'll help it the next one not to fail, but if you can't, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not gonna worry myself about it too much. I need some more hot glue. So leave a comment below if you think that I need a cordless hot glue gun. It's been one of those things that I want to get, but whenever you think about it, you just don't think about, oh yeah, hey, I need to go do this, so I need to be intentional about it. And there we go, it stayed. And sometimes two magnets come off, sometimes just one, but either way, it's good to go. I am gonna go ahead and just cut off these little pieces. There those went. There you have it.